Huh? What's that? You're saying the best Frankenstein, at least in 2025, is by some guy named Guillermo del Toro. I don't know. I don't know anything about that. I'm here to talk about the best Frankenstein movie of 2025, possibly any year before or after that. And that is Tron Ares.
You are Master Control.
Ares. I am
Frankenstein. Because there's like a it makes like a reference because there's like a reference it calls him Frankenstein because there's like a reference it makes a reference to him being Frankenstein. It makes a reference in the movie.
You got some news for the freaks at home?
Hi.
I am fearless and therefore powerful.
But then like later in the movie they call him Pinocchio, so maybe it's a little mixed up.
Eve, is that the deal? It gets you out of the grid, you turn Pinocchio into a real boy?
They might just be kind of a mixed bag of literary metaphors in the movie Tron Ares. But none of that really matters because what I wanted to talk about was this awesome scene that basically fulfilled my childhood fantasies regarding Tron. Okay, so here's a little bit of a spoiler alert, but in this movie, the robots in the Tron world can be 3D printed and come to our world. So we have this Tron bike chase that's happening in actual city streets, which, to be honest, sounds a little bit corny, and the truth is I've often been critical when movies bring fantasy characters into our world, into the real world. But I think it really works here. It works not only in the universe of the film itself, but the way it looks and the way it's shot is fantastic. This isn't Skeletor having a float parade down a suburban neighborhood. See the He-Man movie for that reference. But this is actually what I used to think about when I was a kid. I would watch Tron over and over on VHS, and I often found myself imagining driving those bikes around on the streets. And I think this movie did a really good job of visualizing that. It looks super cool, and especially right here, this shot where it's looking down on the city is like my favorite thing, and I watched it like 3 times just to make sure none of the cars like ran into each other or anything. It's fantastic. And really, the whole movie's visually stunning. That's not a big surprise for Tron. It's always been more of a visual experience. And this one is par for the course. Same for the story. It's about as good as any of the other Tron movies. I mean, it's slightly less anti-corporation because instead of just a bad corporation, there's a good corporation and a bad one. But still, the bad guys just want to like blow everything up. It's just like blah, 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 like recycled and tired. But the movie does have a lot more going for it than just the visuals. It has some really good actors. Great performances from Gillian Anderson, Evan Peters, Jared Leto, Mulan. I really liked pretty much all the acting in this movie. It has some good themes of self-determination, I would say, and really living versus just existing. And it does a good job at expanding the Tron lore. People say this about a lot of things, but Tron really was ahead of its time. And now computers are so much more interconnected that it makes more sense to have Tron now than it did 40 years ago. So let's go. More Tron, please. And seriously, we need to just forgive Jared Leto for doing the Joker because it's been long enough and he's a good actor.